Biggest news is that after some delays, delayed start, we broke ground in May on the downtown streetscape project, and then the low bidder pulled out, forcing us to rebid the project. The company that won the bids then in the second round, Flyway, began work last Monday, basically staging things and getting things in place. And then this Monday started in earnest, and you'll see in the block between Emaw Street and Spring Street that they're out there at work. The Streetscape project, just to refresh, will involve new sidewalks. It'll involve some new intersections, the bump outs and so forth. It will also involve new street lights. There will be traffic calming bump outs at intersections, and also new trees in the downtown. So it'll be a pretty comprehensive facelift to the downtown. The project will be similar to when we did the infrastructure last year underneath the street. We'll go block by block. There will be detours in place for through traffic. I think it's really important for people to know that local traffic will be able to access our downtown businesses throughout the project. Now, you may have to park at the end of the block and walk in if the street is closed immediately in front of the business that you're looking to visit. But there's also ample parking available behind Borough Hall, and so we don't anticipate there being any problems. As the old PennDOT saying goes, temporary inconvenience for permanent improvements. The first phase is between Emaw Street and Spring Street. Originally, they were going to work from the other end up, but because of a planned project by United Water on Ann Street, the contractor chose then to start at this end instead and work down so that there'd be less conflict with the United Water project that they have planned on Union Street. You can see the street is already closed between Spring and Emaw. Alfred's Victorian is really the only business directly impacted right now, and Robin Pellegrini from Alfred's has arranged alternative parking from this side, from the south side on Union Street. People can park behind Airport, which is at the corner of Emaw and Union, and on the other side there's available parking at the Lutheran Church, and I think also if there's no funerals at the Finkenbinder Funeral Home. So that will help Alfred's during that phase is only expected to take about a month, and then the contractors will move to the next phase. Exactly what happens over the winter will be largely dependent on the weather. A lot of the work that's being done is work that can be done in colder weather as long as there's not snow in the way and things like that. So the contractor's timetable ultimately is to be completed next summer. There's a July completion date in the contract, but they could get done sooner than that if the weather cooperates over the winter. It's hard to tell what will happen there. And what will have been, when they're completed, a total of roughly $7.5 million, about $7,670,000 worth of upgrades projects that we've done in the last 3 years. Most of it infrastructure related. On Spring Street, we replaced 2,100 feet of water main and connections. That was about a $390,000 project. The Main Street Route 230 project, there we're talking about 4,900 feet of sanitary sewer replaced or rehabbed through using a cured in place resin lining, and also about 4,800 feet of water main replaced. That was a $2.5 million project. Union Street last summer, a $1.4 million project. We replaced 1,600 feet of water mains and sanitary sewers, and then of course a lot of other little things like new fire hydrants and so forth put in during that project. And now the Streetscape, which the contract for the Streetscape work is a $3,080,000 contract. In addition to that, one of the things that we did in the rebidding is we broke out the trellis and pavilion, which will be at the intersection out here at Emaw and Union, and that is anticipated now through value engineering. We expect that to come in somewhere between $290,000 and $300,000. I anticipate that the Industrial Commercial Development Authority will be taking action on the Trellis and Pavilion portion of the project in the near future. So it's all together, we have replaced almost 3 miles of pipes in the borough. Like I said, it was about $7,670,000. All was done without using any local general fund tax revenues. All funded through grants and other forms of revenue. Some very generous help from Dauphin County through the Infrastructure Bank and through grant programs, so that we were able to do that without having to raise any taxes. In the process of doing all this, we actually paid off all of the borough's debt, and the electric rates were cut in Middletown, so pretty impressive to me, the amount of work we got done with, or getting done without it costing our taxpayers. Just to update on a couple other things. First of all, the Trellis and Pavilion, this is a sketch, just so that people understand. This is not a garden trellis. We've had people say, well, I could build one of those for you with some 2x4s. The Trellis and Pavilion is to be a gathering place, a social spot in downtown. It's going to be an area that can be used for anything from, Girl Scouts selling cookies. If you have festivals